So on this side, you're more thinking about things like the micromirror guys that needs.
Yeah, that I'm aware of. Of course, I don't have a full view of everything, right? But at least in the space that I'm playing in, yeah, I see that as the obvious migration path.
Mm-hmm.
Any experience with gas sensors, optical sensors like that?
No, I would say no.
Okay. So you mentioned the optics integration. Is this part of also creating challenges, or is it just a more of the same kind of?
Optics. I think I was alluding to, which is probably a different topic, right? The dye level bonding.
Mm-hmm.
Photonics.
Okay.
So yeah. So if you want to talk photonics, I can talk a little bit. I mean, it's so Intel is doing their indium phosphate bonding to silicon, right? So that's at the dye level, meaning they actually get a dye and bond it onto indium phosphate dye and bond it into a silicon wafer. Also, I'm not 100% sure how. Who's the guys that bought Novati?
What application is that?
Photonics. So the integration of 3.5 to silicon seems to be a big field. And so because you cannot, or nobody's shown how to grow silicon and the 3.5 compounds on the same substrate. So one of the simplest ways is just to bond the two different substrates together and run interconnects between them. So on that side, yeah, I think, I forget the name of the company that bought out Novati. You could probably just do a quick web search and find it. But they're doing some type of bonding, but of course they're not disclosing exactly how they're doing their bonding.
But again, that's dye level bonding at the moment.
Yeah, that's probably dye level, and you don't have interest in that, so.
Help me out. Well, I'm not interested in it. Help me to understand what is the final application, or what does that indium phosphide bonding to silicon do?
Oh, okay. So in terms of that, what you have is, okay, so people are, well, the next generation moving away from transistors is using waveguides to move gigabit speeds of data. And so you have, okay, so first you have to get the data into the chip. So there's what's called a grating, right, which gets the light into that, and then you have waveguides, which moves it through, and then you have a PN junction. So by changing the dielectric constant, either by heating or applying a current, then you can redirect essentially the light wave through one side or the other. So now you have a switch, right? And so then that's the beginning. Then what people wanted to do was to be able to generate the light pulse. So you have a LED. Now, LEDs have been around forever. All the 3.5 guys have been doing LEDs, right? So you can do like all these gallium phosphate, indium phosphate, right? You can have all your different LEDs to generate your signal. So that's what some people call the emitter, right? So you can use that to generate the light, right? And then you have a switch, and then you have to move it around, and then you can output it through, and then the other component. So basically, I think of it as probably 3 or 4 components, right? The laser diode, right? Which emits a certain wavelength, right? You have the photo